Welcome or welcome back to iGaming. Today we're back with some more Nightingale, and that is because the team have recently posted their FAQ and answered a load of questions that a lot of the community want to know, which is pretty cool. Now, as you may know, I have posted some videos already on the gameplay and going through a few things of the game. We will continue that tomorrow, but today we're going to look at this FAQ and see what the community really want to know about the game. There are a lot of things in here, including the price, how multiplayer will work, and loads of other good stuff. If you are a fan of Nightingale, subscribe to the channel, drop a like in the video, and stick around for much more Nightingale content. Let's jump in and see what the team have to say. So, you may already know that the game is an early access title, so it is going to be in development for some time, and things are always subject to change. Now, the first and most important question was the price. Nightingale will launch into early access at a cost of $29.99 US, and from what I've played, it is 100% worth that money. 30 quid for the game as it stands right now, it's worth that 30 quid. And it's only going to get better and have more content added as it continues through the early access cycle. So 30 quid's definitely worth it. Then next up is Nightingale single player or multiplayer. Now, as some of you may already know, if you've been watching previous videos, it is a multiplayer game, but you can play it solo. You can play solo or with 6 people. So altogether a party of 6 in one single realm. And with that party of 6, you can do all sorts of cool things. You can create loads of awesome estates. You can go out, hunt, and do all of that good stuff that you need to do. Everything that you can do solo as well, which is good. They haven't really split it up, so you can pretty much do everything solo that you can do in multiplayer. So it works for both types of people. Next up is what platform will Nightingale be on? And it is an early access title, so PC only at the moment. There's no news on whether they'll be bringing it to console yet. I assume that once they've gone further into the early access stage, then they might release some news on how that's going to work if they will be bringing it to consoles. I do think it will be something that comes to consoles later on. Now, from the gameplay footage that we've seen so far, and from what I've played so far, it is first person. People do want to know, is it first or third? Can you play as both? Now, it did start off in a completely first-person mode when the development first started, but after a lot of feedback from the community, in 2022 they began to add the functionality for third person, and that should be there on the launch on the 20th, but it may come with a few bugs and visual glitches. Next up is, will it work on the Steam Deck? Now that, especially these days, is a really big question. I didn't think the Steam Deck would do half as well as it did, but so many people have a Steam Deck and so many people love it. Handheld is really starting to become a thing recently, and I really fancy a Steam Deck. I did buy myself a laptop. It was a laptop or a Steam Deck, and the only reason I got a laptop is because I can do editing and everything on that as well. If not, I would have got a Steam Deck, because it looks absolutely outstanding, and the team have said that they are working on compatibility, and it should be available either on the early access launch or not long after it, which is great news. Next up, does Nightingale require an internet connection? Yes, it does. Nightingale requires a constant connection to keep players linked to the realms. Our vision for Nightingale is to create a unique shared world realmscape where players are able to seamlessly travel between realms solo or with their friends. Now, I do wish games like this would have an offline mode as well, just because having an offline mode just makes things so much easier. If you have a, internet goes completely down, shits itself, you can't play the game, and that's a pain in the ass. I do wish games that have a solo mode had a purely offline mode as well. I think that would make things a lot easier. Next up, is Nightingale's progression character or server based? Nightingale's progression will allow players to progress through quests and challenges at your own pace. The main progression is tied to your character, so asynchronous co-op multiplayer won't leave other players missing in mainline content. So basically you can play and your character will take over that sort of progress, shall we say. But when you do jump on with other friends, you'll be able to do some of their missions and stuff like that as well. Now, if you've watched any videos on Nightingale, you'll probably know what realm cards are. They pretty much open the portal network and allow you to traverse through separate realms. Now, you will need major and minor and biome realm cards. The major and the biome cards you can pop into the machine, and that will give you a realm along with certain buffs, debuffs, and then the minor realm cards you can use for various other things. Realm cards are gathered through quest lines, through finding them, and you can also craft them. Next up, will I be able to play Nightingale with a controller, and does Nightingale support key binding? They do have partial controller support. Some menu and in-game actions may require a keyboard and mouse. Now, I have tried to play with the controller, and I can't really get along with it. There's a lot of stuff you can do with keyboard and mouse, and it does make things a little bit quicker and smoother, and I'm not the greatest on a controller anyway. I've got so used to using keyboard and mouse. And will it support key binding? Yes, they will have many single key remapping available options, which is good news. Next up, will there be dedicated servers? We will have official dedicated servers as part of the game offering, but we will not have the typical private server support for the initial early access launch, but that is something that may come later down the line. There is more to that question on the actual Twitter thread if you do want to check that out. It is in the description down below. And then finally, will you support community mods? We won't be officially supporting community mods for early access, but this is something that we will revisit throughout development, and once again, this is something that they go into a little bit deeper, which you can check the link in the description down below, and it will lead you to that post. As well as that, they have asked if they've got an official partnership program for content creators, and they are currently building one out. So for that, check all the links in the description down below if you are interested in servers, modding, and content creation. Definitely check those links in the description down below. That is awesome. There's loads of good stuff in there, loads of interesting questions that have been answered. Tomorrow we have a video going over the character customization, and the day after that, a very detailed video going over the realm cards and how they work in full. We're going to have plenty of videos between now and the launch of the game, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and stick around for much more of that. For now though, I've been Wired, you guys have been awesome, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.